All right, welcome back to the Guard Your Savings podcast, everyone. Keeping things protected and preserved here with Dolph Janis, founder, insurance professional, and income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group, holding the Queen City down. Charlotte, North Carolina, go to guardyoursavings.com or clearincomeforlife.com. Either way, get in touch with Dolph and his team. You can also dial them up, 704-919-0149. Our last couple of episodes, we talked about how annuities have turned the curve a little bit, and they become a lot more reliable and palatable to people. And we also talked about just kind of in a life sense, how every little step we take counts toward the final product. And before we get into some more financial topics today, Dolph, it's great to be on with you, sir. How you doing?
I'm still on the right side of the earth. I'm enjoying life. Summer's right around the corner. Kids are getting out of school. How do you think I'm doing? My daughter's about to finish 5th grade, so
Yeah. No, oh, that's crazy. She'll be a middle schooler next year, or is 5th grade middle school where you're at?
She's starting middle school next year.
I mean, that's got to make you feel old a little bit, Dolph. I mean, oh my gosh, it probably felt like yesterday that she was a baby.
Yeah, it does. But a buddy of mine said to me, he goes, well, look this way. She's 60% off the payroll.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, I know. They're lucky. Never off the payroll.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we know that time flies, and we'll talk about that just a little bit more in a moment. But before we get into that topic today, you have a fundraiser coming up, a big event here with Clear Income Strategies Group, and I think people need to know about it.
We love giving back to the community. We have fundraisers throughout the year, and the two biggest ones we do is the 4th of July for the USO, and we collect a lot of stuff. People just drop stuff off in the office, and then we do a cupcake cookie giveaway on top of that for even just a thank you to our clients and people that are just supporting such a wonderful cause. Because, I mean, without people like that out there fighting for us every day, we wouldn't be able to bless in this wonderful country we lived in and feel free.
By the time you all hear this, the event I'm going to mention now will have happened, but the Coca-Cola 600 happens at Charlotte Motor Speedway Memorial Day weekend. That's always a high patriot event, and so I'm glad to see that Clear Income Strategies Group has something similar to thank our troops for fighting for our freedoms there, to be able to have celebrations like this and to munch on cookies and cupcakes, freely. Now, I promise I'm not making this into a NASCAR show, Dolph, okay? But I did have
boy, what do we got? What do you got for me now?
But here's the deal. I was at Texas Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago, and I had a chance to talk in person to Erik Jones on pit road on the Performance Racing Network PRN broadcast that I was on, and it was his 300 start. All right. And then he was doing a promo for Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is the market I live in here. And I had a chance to talk to him on the phone later that week and kind of ask him about it again, because I remember when Erik Jones was a 14 and 15-year-old and racing in northeastern Georgia at a track that I was an announcer for. And so I asked Erik, he's only 29 years old. He just turned 29, and he's already made 300 starts in NASCAR's Cup Series. And here's what he had to say about, well, the calendar being undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, 300 went by fast, so I'm sure it's not going to go any slower for the next 300, that's for sure.
He said, I'm sure it's not going to go any slower for the next 300 starts, basically. Dolph, you've got some years on me. I'm 39 years old, okay? But what my experience has been is time just speeds up and speeds up. And before we know it, not only are our kids grown or our kids going to middle school or whatever it is, but we're right on the edge of retirement too. So when's the best time to start planning, and is it ever too late to start planning?
Never too early, never too late. As I said, and I preach this, I'm an educator first and an advisor second.
Yes.
The time is time. It's not going to change. I mean, last time I checked, and every time I've checked, and every time going forward I checked, there's 60 seconds in a minute, and there's 60 minutes in an hour, and there's 24 hours in a day, and there's 7 days in a week. The months go anywhere from 28 to 31 days. That has not changed. That has been there since I've been alive, and anybody else has checked it. But sometimes it's amazing how time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
And how time drags when you're not having fun.
Yeah.
But at the end of the days just roll by, and reflect on your past. I'm a big fan of the Dalai Lama. Also, there's 2 days there's 2 days a year you can't change. You can't change yesterday, and you can't change tomorrow.
Right.
And you can learn from yesterday to prepare for tomorrow. But if you look back at the events in our lifetime, Doug, and from the first time that you remember somebody winning the NASCAR Cup or whatever you guys call it in NASCAR, I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, so I don't know, to the first time you've seen a team win the Super Bowl or a national championship or something, or you graduated from high school, it's like you just think back, wow, 1987, wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, remember the turn of the century at 2000 and the whole bug saying, oh no, Y2K, this is going to happen.
Oh gosh.
And then unfortunately, one of the worst things ever was the 9/11, 2001. And you look at that, that's 24 years ago. Look how many things have happened in your life and your family's life, everything in 24 short years, but still, it's still 24 years.
It's the same amount of days.
Now, talking about with Erik, I mean, he started out 14, now he's 29, he's raced 300 times. It's like people like procrastination. People procrastinate, and procrastination can be your best friend and it can be your worst friend. It's a blessing and a curse, because sometimes when you procrastinate, things fly you by, and the next thing you know, it's too late and you've lost out on whatever you were trying to do.
Right.
Also, sometimes procrastinating prevents you from making that snap decision.
Yeah.
And sometimes making a snap decision can only affect you, your wallet, your family, and your loved ones. And I'm going to tell you a story that just happened to me recently. And I'm not a big brick and mortar store. I'm not one of these huge broker house securities firms and financial advisors. We have a team of 6 people in my office. And I've been doing this for a little over 20 years, and we're a family atmosphere. But there's a big company out here. I'm looking for some new gutters for my house, Doug.
Yeah.
This guy came over to my house a couple days ago. I'm going to make this the short version. First thing he says is normal price is $28,000 for the gutters for my house. I'm like, holy cow. He goes, but we have a special today for $18,000 if you say yes today. And I said, I'm not saying yes today. My wife and I need to talk about this for a couple days. And he calls his boss. Well, then he comes back. Okay, how about we'll do it for 15? I'm like, no, we still want to think about it. He goes, well, this price is not going to be coming around unless you say yes. And I said, this is, again, one of these big companies. And
Right.
I'm not going to go into the name of it. I'm not allowed to say it on the air, even though their initials are LF. But so I said, please leave because it's time for dinner. It's 6:30. My daughter needs to have dinner, go to bed. So we go 20 minutes later. Guy shows up at my front door again. He goes, how about 12? I'm like, what? He goes, 12,000, we'll do it for you. I'm like, no, here's your brochure back. I don't want to do business with you at all. And it was just amazing how he pushing me to do the sale. End of the story is I went to 3 small businesses in the next couple of days through Nextdoor, recommended 3 small businesses came. Their prices came in at $2,900, $3,100, and $3,600. Same product, same almost product, cover guards, everything like that for the gutters. And it was the highest price was $3,800. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Some of these times people will say, oh, I'm working with such and such company because they've been around since the day of dawn and da-da-da. Well, are you a person to them or are you a number? Or if you go to a small business, a mom and pop's restaurant, you walk in there and stuff, you're a person. You go into like one of these fancy big places, you're just a number.
Right.
Would you rather be a person or would you rather be a number? Especially when it comes to retirement and you're saving your money, you want to be a person. You want to be remembered. You want to be talked to. And that's what we specialize in here with like Laura making her touch calls and with the newsletters and stuff, educating the clients, because sometimes big is always not better, is it, Doug?
No,
in NASCAR,
that's
especially too.
That's correct. Well, you bring up a good point because you talked. So look, the idea here is the event horizon, the lights that are coming towards you, the tunnel are only going to come quicker and quicker, whether it goes through life, through time, or planning for retirement, whatever it is. But you had an example there because you're warning people about procrastinating, but you gave an example of if people take just an extra second to think about something, they might arrive at a better solution. However, that time you take to pause is still action. All right. That time you took, what you did after you got this really astronomical estimate, you didn't say, I'm going to think about this or get discouraged by it. So I'm not going to look at gutters for 2 months. No, you immediately went out to small businesses immediately to find a better solution for you. So you were proactive, even though you procrastinated initially by not saying yes on the spot. And I think that was the perfect mix of waiting a moment, not letting your emotions take over, but then being proactive afterwards.
And that's what you have to look at, because there's a lot of people out there that do what I do. I mean, there's tons of different advisors, every different kind, from Nick and Cranny. There are money managers, there's brokerage houses, there's fund managers, there's insurance professionals. I mean, all different types. Who do you feel comfortable with and who's an independent? And I can stress whether you work with my company or the companies I represent or anything, just make sure you work with an independent advisor, because when you work with like a captain with like this LF company that I was doing it, they can offer one thing and one thing only, And that's what they're going to try to push down your throat and try to convince you, oh, it's the greatest. We're number one in this. We have a lifetime warranty for that.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. Well, boom. How many cars have you bought in your lifetime, Doug, or leased in your lifetime? And at least how about like the last 20 years?
I've never leased a car, so I've always bought them.
Okay.
And only 2 different times if I had a payment. Usually buy them outright.
Okay. So you're one of the abnormal ones, but the smart ones at the same time. But like other people out there, they'll buy a car.
I've been called abnormal often, smart not so often. So, okay, I'll take it, okay?
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But if you look at it, I mean, a lot of times I have car dealerships calling me yearly, and I said, I haven't owned that car in 5 years. I haven't owned that car in 7 years. And
right.
Like, oh, when did that happen? It's like, I traded it in. Remember, I leased it for 3 years and I traded it in. Oh yeah. But it's just like they put you on their books to say, hey, follow up with Doug in December of 2028 and see how he's doing. Well, how about 27, 26, 25? How about every 3 months? Like here, we have Laura calls our clients every 3 months just to say hello, how you doing, what's up?
Yeah.
Anything I can do for you. Now, don't just be, I only want to make money off you. I was like, I want to service you. I want to take care of you. I want to protect you. Because guess what? The start of the show is time is not going to slow down. It's still going to be 60 seconds to a minute. It's still going to be 12 hours, 24 hours to the day.
Yeah.
I mean, how much you sleep? You go to bed at 11 o'clock at night and you wake up at 6. You're like, do you really feel like you slept 7 hours? No. It feels like you slept for 5 minutes most of the time.
Yeah.
But that is life. And it's like never too early to say, hey, I'm going to put a few dollars here. I'm going to put a few dollars there. Set yourself up with a plan. We have plan organizers that are complimentary on our website that we hand out daily, weekly, monthly, whenever people want, whether you're planning for taxes, whether you're planning for college, whether you're planning for medical, whether you're planning for income. There's organizers that we have for you to help at least give you a start in the right direction and realize that, hey, it's not how much money you have, it's how much money you keep.
Right. That's a great way to put it. You told a great story in one of our last 2 episodes. I think it was in our very last episode, our most recent one, about how every little step counts and about how someone you started working with in their 20s who was just a waitress started saving a little bit over time. They increased the amount because they could handle just a little more. And then they actually had a really great result from that. And of course, every situation is different, but generally, if you start small, you can increase the small increments to where you have something bigger going on and helping you there, especially in retirement. Of course, you come up with different strategies. I mean, the name of the company, Clear Income Strategies Group, whether it's annuities or different insurance products or whatnot, and help people arrive at this. So if somebody wants to schedule that first 20-minute Ask Anything session with you, just to feel this out and figure out if it's right for them, what's the best way to get in touch?
Well, there's 20 minutes, there's 2 minutes, there's an hour. We're open to whatever you want, but you go to our website, careerincomeforlife.com, or the podcast, guardyoursavings.com. They're both linked together. We both have my calendar link on there. You can do my whole schedule will pop up, and you can schedule whatever it is for you, whether it's a Zoom call, an in-meeting call. We meet at your place, you meet at our place. We are very open. That is one way. Another way is just you call and schedule something with Laura. You can email us. You can text us. We are open, and we can find a way any which way possible. We are very flexible to schedule that time, and it's not going to be a hard sell. We're not going to talk about product. We're not going to shove product down your throat because I don't know your situation, and if I don't know it, we don't know it. How can we help you? Because everybody in this world has a different situation, one way or the other.
Well, for sure. Yeah, everybody's situation is different. And so let Dolph and the team help you out, or at least give you a listen and see what's going on in your life, because again, they're not this giant firm. They actually can spend the time to give you the tailored situation that can help you out. Again, that number 704-919-0149. That's the way to call. You can also go to clearincomeforlife.com or guardyoursavings.com. And if you click, and I just clicked schedule the 20-minute Ask Anything session, it opens up Dolph's calendar there. Maybe I should just start using that for the podcast. Okay. I don't know. I'm on Dolph's calendar too. but go in there and click that schedule a 20-minute Ask Anything. It opens up another link and you can jump right on there. Just schedule that phone call, or of course, come in the office. Don't forget the July 4th USO fundraiser that's going on. Learn more about that for Dolph and the team at clearincomeforlife.com. And again, you can dial 704-919-0149. Dolph, thanks for spending the time today. We're so thankful that you have this peace of mind here and that you pay that kind of attention to each person. I like to tell people that are doing these podcasts, when you're hosting a podcast, you may be talking to an audience, so to speak, but you're really talking to one person at a time each time. Think of it that way, and we thank you for doing it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And like I said, you can always go to info@cisforlife.com and put down, hey, Dolph, can you just do a podcast about boom? And I guarantee you, I will find the time and I'll find a way to do a podcast for that. So take care. God bless and have a wonderful week.
Absolutely. God bless everybody there. Yeah, give us your feedback. Info@cisforlife.com. Info@cisforlife.com. And let us know what you like or something you'd like to hear. Thanks also to our producer, Alfred Romero, for getting this published and put together. Man, Alfie's the man. And thank you all for listening. This has been the Guard Your Savings podcast, and he is Dolph Janis, founder, insurance professional, and income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon here on Guard Your Savings.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Randall Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.